Hi and welcome to LDF-Designs. I'm doing something a little different in today's video. I've been working on this 6x6 panel. I have put a little bit of tar, some rust-stained fabric, and some tinted joint compound to create some texture. My original intent was to go ahead and put encaustic on this piece, but as I did the different colors and just kept adding things to it, I realized I got a little too crazy with all my colors and textures, and I needed to pull it back a little bit. So I decided to change direction, and I'm going to mix up some acrylic paints and repaint the whole panel, and then I'm going to finish it with a layer of oil and cold wax. So at this point, just creating a color here in order to bring the panel together. I did like with one of the things that I did like about this process was a lot of the texture just came through this particular layer of acrylic paint, and then also some of those colors that I had as the underpainting also came through. And so when you look closely at it, it's got a lot of depth in the color, and I definitely enjoyed that effect very much. Once I had it covered the way I wanted, I went ahead and let that dry. It didn't take very long, and once it dried completely, then I went ahead, added a few highlights with some white, and then after that dried, I'll go ahead and start with the oil and cold wax. So I had done some oil and cold wax painting recently, and these were the colors I had left over. So instead of mixing up any other colors, I decided to go ahead and work with the ones that I had here. I have some burnt sienna, and I'm using an indigo blue that I've mixed with some white to create the different shades of blue. So that's about the only three colors I think I have here, are the indigo, the burnt sienna, and the white. I haven't used the oil and cold wax on top of a very super textured surface yet, so I've just been kind of starting to dabble in that, and I really do enjoy it. It wants to catch, the oil and cold wax wants to catch on the top rough parts of the texture, and so it always leaves a little bit of the undercolor kind of peeking through, because unless you really push that oil and cold wax paint down there, it just kind of gives you a dual tone color effect, which again I have been really enjoying. After a while, I realized that it was just a lot easier and a little bit more fun to put the paint on just with my fingers. So at this point, I kind of put the tool, well, now I'm picking it back up, but I had put the tool down, and you'll see I keep doing that back and forth between the two things. I did realize I do have like a, I think it's called a Portland gray. It's kind of a pink color. It's a gray pink color. And I forgot I do have that in the oil and cold wax also. So I decided to try a little Gamsol spray. You put it on and let it sit for a little bit, and then you should be able to pull off some of the oil and cold wax paint. but because of the texture, it didn't work the same as I was used to it working. It did pull it back a little bit, but it just gave me a little different impact. It didn't, when you're on a flat, smooth surface, I think it has a little bit of a better way of getting into the paint. Whereas with this texture, it was harder to pull it back out. I hope that makes sense. After I finished this painting up, I've been kind of just sitting with it here for a little bit, several days, trying to decide if I want to add any more finishing touches to it. I'm not quite done with it here in the video. I'm going to do some more things to it, but I will have some pictures of it up over on my Instagram page as usual. If you're interested in seeing the close-up views of it there, you can hop over there and do that. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, I would appreciate it if you would do so. And I always love to hear from you guys, so if you want to leave me any comments, let me know what you think. I'd love to know how many of you guys also are painting with oil and cold wax. I actually started with this medium and then moved into encaustic, but I do love this medium quite a bit. As I was getting this piece put together here, I couldn't quite decide which way I wanted oriented, so I kind of kept flipping it around and taking a look at it. In the end, I do think I like it with more of a horizon line, so I'll probably end up keeping it that way. But if you guys have an opinion on that, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Would love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll be back soon with another video.